Good afternoon to everyone. Oh, I know it's cold and snowing, but good afternoon to everyone. All right, all right. It's a little cold and snowy out there, but you know what? We have been blessed because this has been a very mild winter. So I'm not complaining, I'm just explaining because it could have been much worse than what we have had it. So I am not going to complain at all. It is good to see you all here out in the snow today. We're going to get through this. I am your Detroit City Council President, Brenda Jones, and this is our Detroit City Council Skilled Trades Task Force. And again, I am so glad you all came out in the snow to join us here. We have this meeting every month with the exception of August and December, I want to say. With the exception of August and December. And looks like I'm looking at some first-timers. If this is your first time here, raise your hand. Nice. Okay. So the purpose of the Skilled Trades Task Force, I put the Skilled Trades Task Force together because what I was seeing was a lot of people coming in from different states, getting all of the careers involved in the skilled trades, and the people that were in the city of Detroit was left like this. And there are a lot of opportunities that exist out there. And so we decided to put together a skilled trades task force to give the opportunities to some of our people that are in the city of Detroit. Now notice, I did not say jobs, I said careers, because that's what skilled trades is. Skilled trades is a career. And it's a career you can take once you get that journeyman's card. You can go anywhere, any state. California, where there's no snow. Texas, where the sun is shining. You can go any place you want to go with that journeyman's card. And so it's a career, and you make good legal money. And notice I said legal money in that career. And most of the trades do not discriminate if you are a returning citizen. And when I say returning citizen, I don't mean you coming back from India. I mean returning citizen coming back, you had a felony or whatever, and you've been incarcerated for a while. Most of the trades do not discriminate, and you have that opportunity to still get into the trades. The only thing I say to you is this: when you fill out that application, don't lie. Now that's when they discriminate. Tell the truth. Because sometimes you might get into that apprenticeship program, and then once they find out that you lied on that application, you're gone. So it's important that you tell the truth on the application if they asked you for that information. The only other thing is that right now there is no federal law regarding medical marijuana, recreation marijuana, and so you have to be drug-free. They will not hire you if you cannot test, and they will not put you into the apprenticeship program if you cannot test drug-free. Now, we do have people that can work with you if you know that you cannot pass that drug test, but you have to be honest with yourself. And we can help you get to those people who can help you so that you can get through those drug tests. So on that note, I've gave my little spiel, my little introduction, and you see people sitting up here. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. I never can tell you who's going to be sitting up here other than this guy. He's here when I'm not here. I get him to run the meeting sometimes if I have to be out. But other than that, we have had the Skilled Trades Task Force for over 10, 11, 12 years. And a lot of people have gotten their journeyman's card, and some are trainers and doing other things. So I'm going to let everybody up here introduce themselves, and I'm going to ask if you just give a brief introduction of yourself and where you are from.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Raul Zamran. I am with the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers Union. I represent the bricklayers, tile, terrazzo, restoration. That's all the work on the swing stages in Detroit. They're repairing all the old buildings. Refractory and plasters and cement.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Melody McGee, and I'm with MCA Detroit, which stands for Mechanical Contractors Association. I represent over 188 contractors for plumbers and pipe fitting, and I recruit for Local 98 for plumbers and Local 636 for pipe fitters. So I will be here.
Good afternoon. My name is Rick Pruce. I represent the IBEW, which stands for the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 58. If you're interested in an apprenticeship program, you can go to our website. It's DetroitEITC.org. And see anybody writing that down. Let me do that one more time. DetroitEITC.org. So if you go to that website, you'll be able to go through and check out all the different apprenticeship programs that we offer. Please, if you can't, if you're not interested, please forward that to somebody that is. We have a lot of work in the city of Detroit right now. It's a tremendous amount of opportunity, so please take advantage of it.
Good evening. My name is Joe Hooker, and I work with Bosco of Michigan. And Bosco of Michigan is a development company that specializes in urban redevelopment and historic preservation, particularly in the urban core of downtown Detroit. And I'm here tonight to present one of our upcoming projects that will have work available to many of you here in the audience tonight. Thank you.
Do we have any other developers or any other unions or contractors in the audience?
My name is Roxanne Best, and I'm from Development Center, the first center on 6 miles from the mic.
Okay, can you go to the mic, please? And we are using the mic because they are televising us tonight. Tonight we televise it just in case people are not able to make it here.
Okay.
And I'm not using it.
Yes.
We are using the mic just in case someone can't make it here so that they can get the information. We televise it, and it is on live.
Okay. My name is Roxanne Best, and I'm from Detroit at Work Career Center at Development Centers down the street, 3 blocks west of Telegraph Road.
Okay.
And I have flyers and everything for the guests.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Saad Halim. We're representing Trevelyan Trucking, the BJJSR Aggregate Hauling Training Program. I'll have some information as well for people who might be interested. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I am going to turn the floor back over to Mr. Hooker
All right.
for his presentation.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you very much, President Jones. I thank you very much for putting this meeting together and allowing us the opportunity to be here this evening. As I mentioned, Basco is a urban redeveloper who specializes in urban properties, particularly those with historic preservation qualities. The project I'm here tonight to talk about is 1300 Broadway. It's at the corner of Broadway and Gratiot. It is currently a mostly occupied office building with ground floor level retail available. We purchased the building just this last year and intend to be taking several steps to redevelop the property and stabilize the building as it's suffering from deferred maintenance and did not get a lot of care from its previous owner. Can you fast forward to the next page? The unique thing about this project is Basco typically would hire a general contractor who would be going out and bidding all of the subcontractor trades. In this case, all of the line items that you see here, so if this is one of the areas that you specialize in, these are work that we will be bidding out directly. So it's a real opportunity for the smaller contractor to have an opportunity to get work in Detroit. We will be bidding this out ourselves. My name is going to be on the last slide with my email address. The presentation will be provided to the Councilwoman Jones' office, so they can put it on their website. You'll be able to get that information there as well. And feel free to shoot me an email letting me know what trade you work in and your interest in it, and I will make sure that you all receive copies of any bid documents for your respective trade. We were planning to do most of this work over the summer and fall, and hope to have the primary things wrapped up here by the end of the year. Some of the areas I can tell you that I've had specific difficulty getting trades is in the window repairs and replacement, as we're not looking to bring in a large national company, as we have older historic windows and we have smaller ones that need to be taken care of. Masonry is another good one that for the masonry exterior repairs, and electrical work and mechanical. All of those trades are ones that we're seeking people to come forward and let us provide you an opportunity to competitively bid the project. Go ahead. So, as I mentioned, all of our work is scheduled for this spring, summer. We're doing the work ourselves. I personally will be overseeing the implementation of the project through one of my project managers, but we'll process all information as appropriate. We hope you give us a call, and we hope you participate in the skills trades, but we also hope you stay here in Detroit, because we have several other projects in our pipeline in the Paradise Valley District in particular, large-scale projects that are coming out for bid through general contractors this summer. And we're bullish on Detroit, and we hope you eventually will be too. So with that, I thank you very much, and I would be happy to answer any questions. Yes, ma'am.
Can you go to the mic, please?
Hi, Joe.
Yes.
My name is Ingrid. Do you have any? Do you have an Instagram, and do you tweet? Like, where do you advertise these jobs?
I personally do not have a single social media.
I mean Basco.
Basco has a Facebook page, I believe.
So you
But
don't have.
I don't run it, and I don't issue jobs through Facebook, no.
Okay.
But if you send me your contact information and your trade, I will
sure.
gladly get you information on anything that's appropriate.
Awesome.
Yep.
And do you have any idea? And you may not know this, whatever it
Sure.
is. But do you have any idea what the number is, percentage-wise, of how many women you employ?
How many women we employ?
Yeah.
25%.
Thank you.
Any other questions? So let me give you this point of information. No question is a dumb question other than the question that you sit there and have in your mind and say, I'm not going to ask that question because that's a dumb question. Because somebody else probably have the same question. So if you have a question, don't be shy. Everyone is here to try to help everyone, so there is no such thing as a dumb question. Any other questions? Okay. Hearing none, I will go back to my unions and have them talk about their apprenticeship programs. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mr. Hooker, for
And
that
please, I do encourage you, if
presentation.
you have any questions, please do reach out to me. I'm happy to talk.
If you wish to leave, feel free.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. If, I'm going to go back and let them talk about their apprenticeship programs, give you information on their apprenticeship program, and see if you have any questions for them. So again, I'm going to start down on this end.
Again, hi everyone. I'm Raul Zimmerman with the Bricklayers. And like I said earlier today, I represent a union. And what the union does, I don't know if everybody's familiar with what the union does. And what we do is we fight for the workers' rights. And we don't just fight for our members, we fight for all workers, all middle class. so that we can have better working conditions, safe working conditions, proper training, safety, which is very important, and of course, retirement. All these skilled trades offer free training and pensions. I don't know if everybody's familiar with what a pension is, but the way it works is generally, for the most part, it's pretty much the same. Through your career, the contractor contributes money towards a fund. When you retire, depending on how many years you've worked or how much time you put in or your age, will determine how much you will qualify for, and you get that until the time you die. So it's almost like winning the lottery. And so it's almost like someone telling you, if I give you the winning lottery ticket, will you go buy a ticket? You know, I mean, most people will say sure, but there's a lot of people who say no. And if you think about it, I'm being exaggerating. If you collect $5,000, $4,000 to $5,000 a month, and you live 20 years after retirement, you look at about $1 million. So it is like winning the lottery, and that's at a time when you can no longer work, and a time when you really don't want to work, and you'll be able to support yourself. And that's in addition to your Social Security as well. Like I said, right now 70–80% of the population is not safe for retirement. So this is a nice plan for most people. Well, you know. Now, I do want to talk about our apprenticeships. All the trades offer some type of training, some type of apprenticeship. Ours is a 12-week program, and we teach our pre-apprentices to the basic fundamentals, how to lay brick, block, or depending which trade they want to go to. They want to go into tile or cement, but it is 12 weeks for the brick and block. You learn how to do that. You learn how to blueprint read, do some estimating, and of course, which is safety, which the union is very, very strong on safety. Once you finish your program, we offer you, we give you all the tools. It's all free, and of course, because we're investing our time and we're investing our money, because every member contributes to the fund, so that you guys can have free training. So because we do that, and we're investing our time and our money, we're going to find you a job. It's not a job, it's a career. It's a lifelong career. As I explained, we get trained in the beginning. During your career, we offer you a good wage, health benefits, and when you retire, you have a pension. So it's a lifelong career. But like I said, once you finish your apprenticeship program, you get all the tools free, and we'll find you employment. Unlike some of the other non-union or some of these small little schools that they try to teach you some kind of trade or some kind of profession, where they'll say, well, just come in, we'll pay $10,000, $15,000, or sometimes $20,000, sometimes $25,000. They're in the business of making money because you're going to school. They're making money on you going to school. Their interest is not you getting a career afterwards. Our interest is you getting a career, a lifelong career, and becoming a union member. So if anybody's interested in any of the trades, if the trades are not here, that someone that might want to go into, like say, for instance, plumbers, and they're not here. Oh, I'm sorry. But if there's a trade that's not here, that's where we can give you the information. So we'll reach out to you. Reach out to us, and we'll give you the information. My contact information. My name is Raul Zamron, at Zamarron, and my phone number is 313-587-4913. You can reach me at raul.zamron@bricklayers.org, or you can simply go on our website, and it's bricklayers.org. If you are interested in the program, simply go to our office. I'll send you, you can go to our office and pick up an application, or I'll send you one. Once it's all filled out, we will call you for an interview, and then you start the class. Does anybody have any questions? Zamron. It's Raul Zamron. It's RAUL .Zamron. Z as in zebra, AMARRON.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Melody McGee again from the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters. And as Raul has stated on before, there are over 21 skilled trades that are out there. I've taken some of the information and laid it on the table out there about each skilled trades. that did not probably show up on today, but we can provide that information for you. So I put it on a table out there for each skilled trade that is out there. I represent plumbers and pipe fitters, and we have a 5-year program, and this is a Earn As You Learn program. You get paid while you're in the program. In our plumbing program, you will also receive your associate's degree as well as receiving your journeyman's card and a welding certification. In the first 5 weeks, you are in a boot camp training. In the first five weeks, you're in class. And then after that, you come to class every 2 weeks. You are working directly with a contractor, a plumber's contractor, or a journeyman that is training you to be a professional to have this lifelong career. You also will receive a check the first week you start. If you start that Monday, on that Friday, you'll get your check. Every week you will get paid. You get your health care benefits along with what Raul has stated. You get your pension benefits because you're part of a union. In our pipe fitting class, you'll get your welding certification as well as your HVAC certification. Both programs are 5-year programs, and you get paid on a weekly basis. And so if you have any questions regarding the Earn As You Learn program, you can get in contact with me on 313-779-1666. That's 313-779-1666. I left all my information out on the table, and I will provide some additional information on the table after the meeting, as well as my business card if you want the business card. Thank you.
Hello again. My name is Rick Pruce with IBEW. And just to add a few more things to what was being said, Earn While You Learn program basically is, how many of you, when you were in high school, got paid to go to high school? That's what I thought. We actually pay you to train you to become a tradesperson, whether it's an electrician with us, a plumber, pipe fitter, bricklayer. These trades actually pay you to teach you how to become a journey person. It's a great deal, a great experience. The doors of opportunity are wide open. There's probably been about a 20-year of not a lot of work, but with the advocacy from our political leadership, to thank you to our council president, Brenda Jones, and all of her colleagues that have been advocating for more of these jobs go to Detroit residents. That is no small deal. That's no small task. And it's important that we recognize the people that are responsible for that. These opportunities are here. How many people see construction going on in their neighborhood or around? Okay. 2 of you, okay. That's great. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of work, and that's an understatement. In our history, there's never been a better time to be in the construction trades than now. It's probably been 100 years since we've seen this amount of construction going on in the city of Detroit. A lot of things, a lot of people to thank. We're not going to go into all the details of how many people are involved in all this. But just to say, you can get into construction if that's what you want to get into. Pick a trade that you're interested in. If you don't know what trade you want to go into, if you don't know if you want to become an electrician, please go online and look at what they have online. There are pre-apprenticeship programs that are out there. Those pre-apprentice programs we have at Randolph is one, Access for All. If you are in high school or you know a high school age student, they can go to Randolph for free. And they have all the historic trades there that you can get a kind of an overview of all the different trades that are available. You're going to pick something that you like, but you're going to pick something that you've actually had experience in. So we would like everybody to get that experience in high school. If not, there's adult ed programs as well. Access for All is a great one to give you an overview, kind of a little sampling. Maybe you don't like peach cobbler, maybe you like cheesecake, maybe you like some other, but we have the flavor for you. There's something out there for you. There's something for everybody. And the lady had mentioned how many of women are represented. In construction, there's not as many women in construction. But the good thing is, when you're part of a union, I'll say for our industry specifically, we represent 93% of all women in construction. So if you see a woman on a construction site, 93% of the time, she's a part of a union. If you see a black person on the job site or any other minority on the job site, 87 to 90% of the time, that person belongs to a union. So what is that saying? That means that we are very interested in recruiting and retaining people that are interested in these trades. So we have put the resources. We're here for free. You see the people that are volunteering their time. We also see the roofers over there. Adrian, I'm sure, is going to get in here real soon and explain all the opportunities in roofing. Maybe not in this weather, but soon. There's going to be quite a bit of roofing that's got to be done on all these buildings. As you heard, as a presentation that you just heard, there's going to be a lot of need for all crafts. It's going to happen. We need people. And just to kind of give you just a little sampling, Madam President, if I can just have a few more minutes, if you don't mind, is that we're in kind of a very unique situation. There's a 46% growth in construction per year, coupled with over 50% of our trades are eligible for retirement. It's a perfect storm of a situation. You have the baby boomer generation that's retiring, coupled with an increase in the amount of work. Now, what that means for you is we need you. We need all of you. So if you're interested, please take the time to access the tools that are out there. Like I said, there's a lot of pre-apprentice programs. The ones that we recommend for the union are Access for All, Randolph. If you get in contact with each individual union, they'll have their own specific pre-apprentice program that they would recommend. But those are the ones that we recommend. Again, thank you, Madam President. Thank you for putting this together. Thank you for your advocacy, and look forward to seeing more men and women on the jobs. Thank you.
I didn't get an opportunity to introduce this young lady that is sitting next to my good friend Rick Bruce. However, I talked about if you are a returning citizen, and I said not from India or Germany, but if you are a returning citizen, this young lady works real hard at a project that the city of Detroit has, and I'm going to let her talk about it because we find out that there's so many people that just don't know what they can do to help themselves. And so I'm not going to give the secret. I'm going to let her give that secret. But I did just want to give Miss Julia Rose an introduction, and she is the manager of this project that she is about to talk about.
Hello, my name is Julia Rhodes. I'm the project manager of the city's expungement program, Project Clean Slate. Again, want to thank Council President for having us here today to talk a little bit about the work that we're doing and supporting us and helping this be an entirely free service for City of Detroit residents. So right now, the expungement laws say that you can have up to 1 felony and about 2 misdemeanors on your record to be eligible. It also has to be 5 years since whatever your sentencing was. So you either have to, it was 5 years, since probation ended, you were discharged. Also, you have to be sure that all of your court fees for that charge specifically have been paid off to be eligible for expungement. What we're really excited about is the law's looking like it's going to be changing pretty soon. It was recently passed in the House, and we're waiting on the Senate to take it up. And this new bill package is really looking like it's going to expand it to and about double the number of Detroiters who are going to be eligible for Detroiters. Previously, traffic offenses and traffic violations were not eligible for expungement. They're going to be eligible underneath this new legislation. If you committed multiple, if you're convicted of multiple convictions in a 24-hour period, those will then be counted as one conviction. So if you have, 2 felonies and a misdemeanor charge out of the same arrest, those will just count as one. Another thing that's going to happen is they're going to increase the number of convictions you can have on your record to be eligible for expungement. So they're looking at upping that to about 2 felonies, and right now it's looking like maybe 4 misdemeanors. So it's, again, a really good opportunity for Detroiters to be able to get their records cleared. A couple ways that you can get engaged with us. I left some flyers, they're outside on the table. Our website's there. Instead of coming in and meeting with us, you can fill out a pretty easy online form. Just be sure to leave the best email address and phone number for us to contact you. There's a chance we might not be able to pull up your record, or we might have some additional questions. So we need to be able to contact you to make sure that if you are eligible, we are able to get you in and through the process. You can also visit us at 2 of our locations on Mondays. We're at the Northwest Activity Center, and that's from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. There you can meet with one of our team members. We'll pull your record and tell you a little, give you kind of an initial assessment if you're going to be eligible for expungement. Then some of our attorneys will do a little bit more work on the back end, and then they'll call you to potentially ask some more questions or have you come in to fill out the paperwork. We'll also be at the Samaritan Center, and that's on Tuesdays over on the east side from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. as well. And so just to kind of set some expectations, this process is fairly lengthy. On average, it takes about 4 to 6 months from when somebody comes in and meets with us or submits that online form to when they actually get the expungement. What you will have to do, this is, again, a free service, so the way it works is you'll meet with us, we'll let you know if you're eligible. If you are eligible, you have to come in and we'll have you sign some paperwork, and we'll send you over to the 3rd precinct to get fingerprints done. We do make sure you don't have any warrants. We're not going to send you down there to get arrested, so we do check these things. And DPD has been a huge partner in helping us get additional things cleared off, and also helping with this fingerprinting process that is also done for free from DPD. After we get your fingerprints, we then have to order your certified court records and wait to hear back from the Attorney General's office and the Michigan State Police. That chunk of the process, that's something our attorneys all handle. It is really the longest part of the process, unfortunately. So, but after we get that, the recommendation from the Attorney General and Michigan State Police clearing you to go to a hearing. The hearing itself lasts about 15 minutes, and we now have 2 dedicated judges down at Frank Murphy, and then they will, you go through the hearing, it's again about 15 minutes, and then most of the time they're really happy to grant it. About 99% of our expungements have been granted, and so to date, I think we're at 447 expungements since the program began, with really good success rates. So again, the only requirements is that you're a City of Detroit resident. We need your photo ID or a bill to prove that you're a resident, and then also the conviction doesn't have to be only in the City of Detroit. We have volunteer attorneys who will go as far as, like, we have a hearing up in the Upper Peninsula next month. So again, it doesn't really matter where the conviction is. You just have to be a Detroit resident. And I'd be happy to answer any questions anyone has after this gentleman next to me goes.
Okay, so I got one question. How much you say it costs?
This is free.
Free? F-R-E-E, free?
Yes.
So the attorney is free?
The attorney is free. All the paperwork that would generally cost you is free. If you were to go out and try and hire an attorney, this would cost you maybe $2,000 or $3,000. So it's a pretty good deal.
All right. Nobody has any questions? So coming to the mic is my Chief of Staff, Stephen Grady.
Council President, thank you so much for hosting this forum. I did have a question, though. You mentioned earlier that you have to have all of your court fees and tickets and everything paid off. What if you're in a payment plan? Will that qualify you to be able to get an expungement?
Yeah, really good question. So unfortunately, again, the payment only applies to the conviction that you're trying to expunge. So if you owe any other traffic tickets over at, Frank Murphy or 36, the judge isn't going to deny you if you're going in for, say, a misdemeanor or marijuana charge or something like that. But if you have a balance on the charge that you're trying to get expunged, a judge won't grant that until you have a zero balance. So even if you are on a payment plan, they're still not going to approve the expungement. So what we do, we won't close your file. We'll just expect you to let us know when you make that payment, and we'll be ready to, file the application and get things moving.
All right, here's my good friend Percy.
Thank you. Thank you once again, Council President, for allowing us to have this. But a question to you, young lady. I heard you mention that you didn't have to have a record that's necessarily in Detroit, and you can go out of Detroit in other areas in Michigan. What about out of state?
Unfortunately, we can't do anything for out-of-state convictions just because we can't practice out-of-state, and then also every state has different expungement laws. Same thing for federal convictions. Those are not expungible convictions, and that requires to go through like a presidential pardon. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. I want to get clarity on that. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, once again, I'm Percy Johnson. I'm here I come to these meetings quite a bit, and I offer other assistance for individuals who might have heard the people that are there at the panel, that you might have missed out on understanding what they are offering you. So if you need someone to kind of call back and guide you and assist you on how to help get more information on how to get into these various programs, please call me. And I also have cards. I'll give you my phone number. My phone number for the ones who are listening is 313-719-9921. I ask you to please text me the word help. I have a day job, so a lot of times I'm not able to answer the phone, but if you please text me the word help, I promise you I'll get with you, and I'll talk to you to see what scenario, what situation you are in, and how you're trying to pursue to get into the various trades and guide you, okay? And the other reason why I really do this, okay. No, I can't mention this? All right.
You're gonna have time to do that, but if you just let her wrap up, we still have somebody.
Okay. All right. All right.
Did anyone else have any questions? Anyone else have any questions? Okay, then I'm going to, if you had no additional questions for her yet, I'm going to move on down the line to my other good friend.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Adrian Bonds. I'm a president and business agent of Roofers Local 149. We have a 4-year apprenticeship. Long as you're 18, valid driver's license, transportation. But I can't reiterate one important thing, though. You have to be able to pass a drug test. Our jobs are dangerous enough as it is. I can't have you 40, 50 feet up in the air under the influence of any type of narcotic. We have the most dangerous job next to iron workers. You can look online at roofers' deaths, and half of them are avoidable to the most degree. You can reach not reach, but you can go online to our Facebook page. There's a link to a application that you can take. Right now, we with the snow, things have slowed down quite a bit, but once the snow thaws, we got companies that are willing to take a few people on. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, so I don't see anyone coming to the mic with any questions. Does anyone have any questions for anyone up here? I want to also take an opportunity to, after this question, introduce another City of Detroit employee, and that is Levon Minot, and he is from Civil Rights and Inclusion and Opportunities, and I will have him describe his job and what he does as soon as this young man finishes with his question.
Hi, I got two questions. First, I heard somebody mention about pre-apprenticeship for high school students. Can I get a little bit more clarification on that?
Yes, so Randolph right now is our Career Technical Education Center. Randolph, if you're in high school, or you know anybody that's in high school, they can go to Randolph for free. It's available and it's open to anybody that's of high school age. They have all the historic trades there in construction that you can apply for and get in one of those programs. They have bricklaying there, they have tile setting there, they have plumbing and pipe fitting and electrical.
Okay.
We actually have sent two of our instructors over there to teach the students, high school age students, what it is, an overview, if you will, a pre-apprenticeship that starts in high school, so that we actually do the training while you're still in high school. So when you graduate from high school, you already have a lot of those soft skills and a lot of the basic math skills to be successful in the apprenticeship program. And because we have our instructors there, they're teaching you exactly the curriculum that you need, that we expect, and the industry is standard in the industry.
Okay, sounds good. And my second question is, so that was my first brother, and I got an older brother, and he's coming home. So can I get any information about opportunities for people who are formerly incarcerated?
Was he just released?
No, he's going to get released later this year.
Later
so
this year?
I figured I'd just ask for some here.
Okay, so unfortunately, he wouldn't be eligible for expungement until about 5 years from now.
Well, I guess my question was more for the union reps. Like, is there any opportunities for formerly incarcerated people for union work?
I can tell you that every union is felony friendly.
Oh, okay. Okay. There it is.
Now, I can say this. Depending on what your felony is, there are some places you can't work.
Right.
If you're a sex offender, you won't be able to work on schools.
It's a gun charge.
Okay. Well, I mean, but I'm just saying. But if you have work at a government facility, you can't have any felonies to work on a government facility.
Okay, that makes sense.
But they still contractors still have other jobs for you can go on.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
No problem.
I think, Madam President, you said it best. Just be honest. You want to be honest with your interview, and you want to be honest on your application. That's very important.
And then just one thing, when you do get an expungement, you are legally allowed to say that I have never been convicted of a felony or a misdemeanor. The only people who do still have access to those records are just the courts and law enforcement.
Good evening, panel. Thanks for having me. Good evening, everybody else. My name is Levon Minot. I am the Construction Compliance Officer for the City of Detroit. What that means is I am responsible for going out and making sure that my apologies. My responsibilities is to go out to construction sites in the City of Detroit and make sure that Detroiters are staffed up on all of these jobs. It has to be 51% of Detroiters on these jobs. So you are all able to come to my office, the Office of CREO, Civil Rights and Inclusion, and you can sit down, you can bring your resumes in, you can email your resumes. I'll leave my cards here for everybody to be able to have access to me, and we will try to help you get a job as best as possible. We work alongside with all of the unions, so it's possible for everybody to get a job. We work with returning citizens, so to the young man I was just talking up here, it's definitely jobs available for your brother once he comes home. We work at Randolph. We work at all the vocational schools. So yeah, I'm just here to provide as much information as possible. And if I can't provide it, then my supervisor, Renard Richmond, will be able to provide the information to you.
So let me just say that several years ago, there was an executive order that said you had to hire, if you are receiving any type of money,
From the city.
tax abatements, any type of money from the city of Detroit, you must hire 51% of Detroit residents. Now, there are a few exceptions, but primarily you have to hire 51% of Detroit residents. So what are we saying happening? Just as Mr. Prue said, many other companies are saying, we can't get Detroit residents. Well, why can't they get Detroit residents? Because people are not trying to get into the trades. And so that's why we make sure we do this. If I'm not here, I don't stop the show. One of these people keep the show going. And like I said, Rick Bruce is here when I'm not here. When I've had to be away for budget or I had to go out of town, I want to say since I started this skilled trades task force, Rick Bruce has been at every meeting. I think he is here unless something wrong with his feet and he can't walk. But he is here at every meeting. Adrian is here at every meeting. So these are people that you see. When you see these people, they are here to help you, to assist you. So there's no reason to be shy. We work with other people. We're trying to get other people involved. Someone asked a question about why does Detroit Works do a specific thing? We made sure we have someone here from Detroit Works to answer questions. They were involved in the FCA hiring. And so she was very modest when she introduced herself, but it's a whole lot more she can say. Creo, when compliance officer,
Yes.
when we think that someone is not doing what they're supposed to do on those development sites, we call Creo, Civil Rights, and we say, you know what, you need to send a compliance officer out there because they don't have 51% of Detroit residents out on the site. And what happens is they end up getting fined
Yes.
when they don't have 51% of Detroit residents on the site. Now, we can't find them if they say there's not 51% of Detroit residents we can find, but they got to prove it. They have to prove it. And so we work, and when contracts come before council, one of the first questions I ask is, how many Detroit residents you have working on those jobs? We see a lot of contractors that come before us. They have 400 employees, 1 Detroit resident. Now, what you think and they're receiving Detroit dollars, and they're not trying to hire Detroiters? You think I'm gonna vote for it? I think not. I think not. They have to give a good explanation as to why they don't have Detroiters on that contract. And the same thing for the development. And so when we have developers come in to us and they're trying to get contracts passed, we tell them you got to come through the Skilled Trades Task Force. You have to talk to the people here because it's important to me. I'm the longest serving council member. I've been there 16 years. It's important to me that you all who want to get into the market are able to get those opportunities. There were things that FCA came to us with. One of the things that I asked FCA is, what happens if they are skilled trades? How are you going to include skilled trades in on some of these opportunities? Everybody don't want to work on the line. You have some skilled trades people. And so we work hard to try to ensure that everyone who wants those opportunities are able to get those opportunities. That's my goal. That's my purpose. Detroit has a high unemployment rate. I want to see that rate go down. That is my goal, to see that rate go down. And everyone who wants to make legal money, and they make good money in the skilled trades, good money. They work hard for it, but they make good money. And Adrian talked about roofing. Tell me a building that don't have a roof on it. I don't think I want to sit in the building. He talked about electrical. These are things, plumbing. These are things that you're going to need no matter what. There's going to have to be a toilet flushing no matter what. There's going to have to be lights on no matter what. These trades are needed. All of them are needed. Iron workers, steel workers. There's a bridge that's getting ready to be built. So we need you all to get interested and do what you need to do to get into the trades to make, hey, Ms. Gardner, to make legal dollars. And there's no discrimination against women.
That's right.
And Creole is right there. So there's truly no discrimination against women. And I got to say this because I have to applaud my good friend Adrienne Bennett every time I get an opportunity to, because I was with Adrienne as she started getting into the plumbing business. When she started trying to get her apprenticeship, going into apprenticeship, that's how long I've been knowing her. She's not here today, but she has her own company. Yeah. She started her own company. First female master plumber in the United States. I knew it when she was going through trying to get it. So there's no discrimination against females, and especially not on my clock.
Got it.
There's
So-
no discrimination, but I know from having worked with the general contractor.
If I know about it,
yeah.
and it has anything to do with the city of Detroit, I'm going to be fighting it. Trust me.
I know, and it's a difficult situation. There are lots of guys who don't want women on the site, and they'll hide their tools, and they do all kinds of things, whether it's catcalling or all kinds of things. There are reasons why there are a lot of women in construction, and it just goes without. It's not just Detroit; it's everywhere, and so the employer might not be discriminating, but it happens that there's stuff. So I had one question and one comment. My question is for everybody on the panel, and it has to do with financial literacy. It's great that financial literacy programs, so people know what to do with their taxes, they know what to do with their credit report, they know what to do with, so financial literacy programs. Which of you have them or don't have them or whatever? I know the city does it, and they have one-on-one consultations and a whole bunch of stuff, so that's the first thing. And the other thing, I guess I should make it known, that I'm the founder of Drones for Girls. And one of the things that Drones does a big thing in is it's $11 billion in inspecting construction, particularly exteriors, so it's safer for human beings. But there's also aerial mapping, and there's a lot of coding involved and stuff, and I would love to see a network of pilots in Detroit. So I just wanted to let people know that that's available. So financial literacy, that was my question.
We do, in our first 5 weeks of boot camp training in plumbing and pipe fitters, we bring in a financial professional to talk to them about budgeting their funds and their credit within those 5 weeks of training. So just to let you know that. Also, I want to let you know that there will be, this coming Friday, a support group for women in the trades and construction at the IBW location in Detroit, Local 58, right? At 6 o'clock p.m. So there will be. If you need that information, you can see myself after, and I'll make sure I forward you that flyer for women
Hold on for
in
1
the
minute.
trade.
Percy, she's giving out information that she might want to hear, so hold on for a minute. Let her hear that information. Okay, can you share that again?
Again, on this coming Friday at 6 o'clock p.m., we are asking that all women that are in the trades or interested in being in the trade to please come to our support women's group on this coming Friday at the IBW 58. It will be at 6 o'clock p.m. on this Friday at 6 p.m. So I want to make sure, because we had, I think our last meeting last month, we had about 40 or 50 women that attended in the city of Detroit, and we would love for you to come.
If I can just add to that, there's a couple of things that need to remember that, like I said before, and I just want to repeat it, 93% of the women that you see in the trades belong to a union. and that there is a zero tolerance. We do not allow discrimination. We do not, if somebody is discriminating against a woman on the job site, there is action taken immediately. You get in touch with your union rep, you get in touch with your steward. We have protocols. And the people that you have that you're looking at, these are the leadership teams that you see. People that do not tolerate that type of behavior on the job in any way or shape or form. I'm not going to talk about the past because it's the past, but I'm talking about today, right now. We have zero tolerance on the job sites, and there's ways to resolve issues. There is a Women in Construction's conference. We're bringing more and more of those conferences here to Detroit. There is a growing and a groundswelling of support around that. We're seeing an increase in women getting into the trade. There's many things that we can do to help in the advocacy and with more women, advocating for more women in the trade. We're seeing that becoming an increase. Women score better getting into the trades. Women do better in classroom than the men. And when they get in, they stay in, they don't drop out. So the success rate of women getting into the trades are far superior. They're smarter. They take their schoolwork a lot more serious than the men do. And that's just the truth. We love to have more women in the trade, and we appreciate your concerns. But yes, we'd love to have more, and more advocacy around it too.
There is one more financial resource. The city does have these free literacy clinics called the Financial Empowerment Centers. It looks like you're aware of them. And they do have community events. They're running a big series of them right now. There's going to be one tomorrow over at the Urban Neighborhoods Initiative Center over on Longworth. So they have a number of banks, and then they do sort of some budget exercises. Then at the Financial Empowerment Centers, you can schedule appointments with a financial advisor and talk to them about any concerns you may have.
And just one more thing. So again, I'm just going to repeat it. Friday, February 28th at 6 p.m. at the IBEW, which is located at 1358 Abbott Street in Detroit. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at seeing how many women are in the trades and how much support there really is for women getting into the trades. You don't know until you try, and all my asking is that you at least give it a try. Thank you.
As far as the financial aspect that we're talking about, yes, I think most of us do work with some programs that we have worked with the local credit union. We do invite all our members. It's in our paper, and especially the apprentices. Technology is a wonderful thing, but then sometimes it kind of hinders people. A lot of these young people coming out of high school or even in their early 20s don't have a register. They don't have a checking account. They just simply put money in the bank and they look at their phone, and they just send the money. They have no idea how much money they have and how to spend it. So we do have a program which we occasionally invite our apprentices.
Hello, my name is Stacy Alavashi, and I represent the City of Detroit. I'm telling you're here. I represent the City of Detroit Human Resources Department. Rick, don't keep looking at me. I'm taken. Now, if you want to help me, I'll come to this women's skilled trades on tomorrow if you finally find me an electrician and find me a woman. I still need one.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm here. I'm wearing several different hats today. I didn't think I was going to, but this is how things work out. Initially, I wanted to talk about a project that I'm working on with a council member and her team for skilled trades and actually for veterans as well. And it's an opportunity for individuals that come to forums like this, and there may be a gap, let's say a gap or a reason why they find that the skilled trades are not for them, or maybe the timing. If you're still looking for employment opportunity, when you sign in, it's important to notate that, and that information is shared with the HR department with the City of Detroit, and then I'll reach out to individuals and we'll begin a process or begin a conversation to see if we can begin a process from that moment. We're working on having a website, an email created. I was hoping to have it created before this meeting, but I was unable to do so. So as soon as I can share that information with the council president's team, and hopefully we can put it out on the information that you send out and on any of your email blasts that you send out to everyone. Secondly, I wanted to talk to those that just need employment now while you're waiting on any of these, any of the application periods to open up, or even if you're waiting for Ms. Rhodes to finish expunging your record. So we do hire felons. The city of Detroit is an equal opportunity employer. We look at every criminal background on a case-by-case basis. I hired all of the past felons that joined. I don't know if you're aware of the Board Up Brigade. It was a 2-year program with the mayor, a 2-year program that the mayor initiated to board up vacant and unsecure homes. So from that program, we hired about 100 returning citizens. I think maybe about 30 of them went on to, 30 or so, I should have had those statistics, but several of them went on to full-time employment with the city, and a few of them left and took permanent employment outside the city. We're working on another program now that'll start in the late summer, specific to returning citizens again. And once we finish working out some of the administrative pieces on the back end, the goal is to hire another 100 returning citizens. So for the young man whose brother's coming home, let's make sure we stay in contact, because he may come home and walk straight into a job, no matter if it's a state or federal charge. And then I had something else. I was wearing all these hats when I came up here. And then I got so excited about Rick finding me this woman electrician. I mean, I just got all warm inside, right? I'm actually looking for a plumber. So because I hire for the skilled trades for General City, there is a big need right now where I'm having a gap with hiring an electrician and master plumber. So if anyone watching or anyone here knows of one, they can go online to our website, www.detroitmi.gov/employment, and submit an application, or connect with me before I leave. Notice I said not at the end, but before I leave. And I can get that information, but we do have some immediate vacancies there. And where's the plumber? You represent the plumber? So I might get everything I need today on this snowy day. Won't he do it? Thank you.
Any questions? Any questions? I'm trying to remember the question that was asked of me about why the Employment Solution Workforce, when you go to Detroit Works, they have you fill out an application, and man, I'm trying to remember the question. The person that asked that question, are they here by any chance today? Do you remember, were you here when they asked the question?
The question the gentleman had was he had come into
Linda,
the...
Hold on, Linda, she's asking the question for her to answer.
The gentleman had come into one of the one-stops and had completed the vetting process when he submitted the application and gone through the orientation and met with a career advisor. And the career advisor that he met with had presented several opportunities to him, but let's say person X was the main contact for all of the opportunities. And so he was concerned because he said, I submitted my application to these 10 employers, but yet there's still only one person that's my point of contact, and I'm not hearing anything back. And so he wanted to know, he wanted an update as to what was going on and why was the system set up in such a way.
Can you go to the mic?
Unfortunately, that question I can't answer because I'm a career coach. I'm not a BSP, but I can get that answer to that question for you.
Okay, all right, thank you.
So there is another website I want everybody to write down. It's mustcareers.org. Prudence Rose is usually here at all these meetings. She's not here today. But Must Careers is a one location where you can go to view all the skilled trades, what we call the building trades, apprenticeship programs. As Melody had said that there's over 21 different apprenticeship programs. We're not going to have enough time to talk about every single apprenticeship program, but there's something out there for everybody. And like I said before, it depends on the flavor that you want. I just suggest that you get involved in a pre-apprenticeship, that you are able to get exposed to all the different apprenticeship programs. You're going to pick something that is interesting to you, that you're good at, that you will be successful in. Pick something that you like, not the money. The money's going to be there, guaranteed. We have a base wage, a minimum wage for skilled trades. As an apprentice, you start off at 19 bucks an hour. It's pretty average depending on the trade. Some are more, some are less. That's starting with no experience. 18 years old minimum, high school diploma or GED, 1 year of algebra for electricians. We have that requirement. Most others do not have that requirement. And legal resident. Those are the only requirements. There's no experience necessary. So please, I implore everybody to write that down, mustcareers.org. Send it, text it, Snapchat, whatever people do nowadays, send it out. I'm sure there's somebody out there trying to figure it out right now, where to go. Every time we have these meetings, Madam President, people say, man, I didn't know all these careers existed. I didn't know that even, I didn't know how to get into the trades. Please, there's so many people that don't have they don't have the information. For some reason, we're on TV, we're here every month, but for some reason, people don't have it. 19 bucks an hour just to start is a good wage. Every 6 months, you get a raise. Every 6 months, you get a 5% raise. Every year, 10% raise. Commensurate on going to school and going to work. You go to work and you go to school, you're going to get a raise. So it's a good trade. I don't see a lot of people getting up to the mic, so I don't know if I'm answering all their questions, Madam President. I'm not sure if we're just doing such a good job. Everybody's just just online right now, just surfing the web right now and checking out the website. But I hope you are. I encourage you guys, that men and women alike, that this is something that'll change your life. You ask anybody that's up here that's in the trades, and some people that just have been around the trades, they'll tell you it's the one thing that'll change your life in a matter of an instant, and you'll always be grateful that you did. We're in 36 different countries. You join the IBEW, you go anywhere in the world and work. And then we're not the only ones. The other trades have those relationships as well. You can go anywhere in the world and work. So not just the U.S., which we encourage you to stay right here in Detroit. We need you. We need a lot of people. With the amount of work that's going on in forecasting, work forecasts, they're breaking all the records. All the records that they had forecasted, record numbers of skilled trades people that they need. And some of the people that are investing in Detroit are saying you haven't seen nothing yet. So it's a good time to be here. It's a good time to buy something here. It's a good time to make your roots and make some more children so we can have some more people in the skilled trades. Thank you.
So, are there any questions? If you want to come to the mic, please.
My name is Ron Merritt. I'm here on behalf of Access for All, which is a pre-apprenticeship construction trades program. So it pretty much elaborates on all the construction trades for anyone that's looking for an opportunity that wants to get into the trades. We have a 13-week program that's being held over at Randolph. That pays towards $800 stipend. We pay towards parking tickets, moving violations. All you have to do is be a City of Detroit residency. And, of course, we're going to make sure you have a certain mindset. We're looking for a willingness to learn. It's not an apprenticeship where you think it's more so hands-on, but we're looking for someone that can actually speak to the construction trades. We're speaking on behalf of United Way is one of the supporting factors there. Detroit Workforce Act is also backing us up as well. Merrill Duggan has been at some of our events. We're talking about coming out with one of the construction trades that's going to make a mindset changing towards a career opportunity. There's over 10 of the construction trades that's been projected between now and 2026. There's going to be some of the top paying jobs now in the state of Michigan. When you come to see us, we're going to actually test you on work keys testing. So that means you must be proficient in some of your mathematics, locating information, extracting data information from bars and charts and things of that nature. As far as barriers, as far as case management, is intense case management, meaning that if you were the babysitter at one time, and that may be a barrier to you of coming into the program, we will knock down those barriers as well. We're actually taking applications now. We had a class that started in January. That was our last class, but we may start off another one in about April, okay? When you do come in, you need your ID, social security card, and that there can get the paperwork process started. I have applications here now. I have flyers here as well. Come see me. It's an excellent program. It's been around. We're probably cohort number 14. It's successful. When I first walked in, I heard someone talking about women in the construction trades. We have put out one of the top apprentices of the country, in the state of Michigan now. She beat out 22 guys, and she's a construction laborer. And she was a felon, and she did 8 years, and she's a black woman, and all her gear, all her work gear is being, donated to her now, and it's been a mind changing. It's helped our program catapult into another level. So please come see me if you're interested in the trades, okay? Thank you.
And we did talk about access for all as well before you hit it.
That's it.
I just wanted to just add one more thing. Great presentation, but the one other thing I think needs to be really, the unions back that Access for All program. The unions all participate in that Access for All program. It's a pipeline into the union trades. And also, the other great thing about the Access for All program, the unions built it. So just know that, that program was put together and is staying together. Didn't talk about the placement rate, but there's a very high placement rate. You get into that program, you graduate from that program, you're working in the trades. Very highly sought after. People that come out of that Access for All program would heavily endorse that program. And also, you get the overview. You actually come to the IBEW's training facility, the plumbers facility, the bricklayers facility, the roofers, and you get to see firsthand what they do in their training centers. State of the art, top of the line, the best in the country. You get to see firsthand what it is those people are getting and the education they're getting. If you think about colleges, you're looking at the Ivy League. These are the best of the best, and it's because of the customers that we serve. So just know that this opportunity is something to be considered, and I hate to sound like a salesperson. I feel like I'm a salesperson, but please, we need you.
Good evening. Kelvin Brown, I'm with the Children's Center. We have a program that helps young people ages 16 through 21 live independently. I want to first thank Council President Brenda Jones for bringing this type of information to the community all over the city of Detroit. I apologize for my tardiness with the traffic out there, so if this question has been asked, I want to know the best way is the mustcareers.org, the best way to get our young people who are ages 18 to 21 and interested in the skilled trades, that pipeline into the skilled trades?
Absolutely, I'd stop at Access for All first, but yeah, in Randolph, those places would be our recommendation, but Must Careers will give you 21 different apprenticeship programs. So there's just not enough time in the day to sit here and give you an explanation on all 21, but that's a one-stop shop where you can get all the building trades and all of their different apprenticeship programs.
And I'll give you Putin's Rose business card, so you'll be able to contact her also.
Thank you so much.
And I want to, and I have not got an opportunity to commend you for what you all do at the Children's Center. And I've been over there. And so I definitely want to publicly commend you all for the work that you all do. We have to start off with our children. Also, often we say our children are our future, and I always say our children are our now, because if we don't get them past now, there is no future for them or for us. And so I commend you for the work that you do with our children, for showing up at places like this so that you can take that information back to give to our children. You call that dedication, pure dedication. And so I thank you and I commend you for doing that. Also, know that the Randolph Center has free classes for the children as well, the Randolph Center that is located on Hubble.
Thank you so much, and thank you for all you do to help our work be much easier. Thank you.
Focus Hope.
Focus Hope. Proud to be celebrating 52 years of service to the community as of March 8th. We've been in the business of workforce development and education since 1981. My name is Kevin Green. I'm the apprenticeship manager at Focus Hope, giving yet another option for you. Certainly my partners on the panel, and it's great to see you guys. Focus Hope has great opportunities for you. We have some great new programs starting, and we're certainly running our signature programs. Our signature programs are advanced manufacturing and IT. We have a 15-week program in advanced manufacturing that gives you 4 occupational certificates: forklift driving, robotics, CNC machining, and welding. And those are new at Focus Hope. We also have a new program for culinary arts that we're launching. If you seek an opportunity, Focus Hope has a desire to help you at no cost to yourself or the employer who would hire you. I have some business cards that I can share with you, but yet another opportunity. I can also say that when I talk about Focus Hope, I really want to brand Focus Hope as Focus Hope and our partners, because we have a lot of partners who help us do what we do, either directly or indirectly, and we're real proud of what we've been able to do. So I'll be in the back of the room. Anybody wants a business card, an opportunity, or has a question, please feel free to come. Thank you so much, Madam President. Great job, panel. Great to see you all.
Thank you, panel. My name is Roxanne Best again. I'm from Development Centers. We're a new career center. We're 3 blocks west of Telegraph, and like I said, I'm a career coach, and we have several workshops available, free to the community, and we also offer training. We can get individuals into training. I had about maybe 12 people been approved for training, all 12, 100% acceptance rate. So I have flyers on in the front with our the workshop information and also where we're located. So we welcome you to come and see us, and we want to service you.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
So I could just ask a question?
You get to ask whatever question you want.
All right, well, all right, I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna be real as I can. Like people like myself, like personally, okay, I'm a convicted felon and I'm on parole. You see what I'm saying? But I'm looking for a job hard, left and right. You know, I'll do anything. I'll learn anything. But I keep bumping into questions like, oh, you on parole, you on probation, call us when you get off. Or how long ago was your conviction? What type of convictions you got? My whole thing is this. I go to work, I learn, I go hard, I work hard. But I'm trying to see like if it's any positions here or any information here that I could get a hold of where I could try to get in a job and learn something like and start getting paid tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I got people to take care of. I got stuff I got to do. I'm not trying to, you know, be a criminal. You know, I made mistakes. I got convicted. But I'm trying to just go to work. You know, I'm trying to go to work, save my money, and learn how to function in regular society. So I came here trying to see if there's anything I could apply for, anything I could get knowledge on, any program, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's anything here that anybody where anybody will accept somebody in my position, like, what about people like me who still on parole, who walking down their parole, trying to not get in no trouble and trying to go to work and make a way for themselves?
Okay. So
Well, well, first of all, you have to select the trade you want to do. You want to do. In other words, so once you select the trade that you want to go into, apply for that. We'll train you. We can work with you if you are on probation. You simply have to be honest with us and tell us when your probation is. During your training, we will notify the employer and let them know that you are going to probation. They will work with you. So the opportunity is there. You just have to pick it and be persistent. You know, do you have an idea what you want to go into?
I like working with my hands. I like working with.
Okay.
I like
So
doing stuff, moving.
So you're not going to
moving
get a
around.
job right away if you have no experience, but you would definitely will train
I got a
you
little
to get
work
a job.
experience though. I got a resume and everything. I done worked at everywhere from Meyer to a machining company.
Do you have any experience in any in the building trades?
Not like a professional experience, but like working under the table. Like I done took doors down and put them back up. Like I done did.
Well, you can do two things. Go on the website, on the MUST website, and go see what you interest you. If not, I'll give you my card right here.
Okay.
We can talk afterwards, and then I can
All
guide
right.
you. If you don't go into our trade, I'll tell you what we got to offer. If it's not what you like, I can direct you into one of the other trades.
All right,
Okay?
thanks.
So when we come to these events, everyone is anxious to work, and they say no one will hire me, and I want to do something right now. And so I like to hold people accountable for what they say. So if you're available tomorrow, we'll interview tomorrow morning, and we'll see, the interview is a conversation to learn about the job, and if it works out, then we're going to report on you. And I'm real transparent. And when you act up, if you should, I'm going to tell your business. But we will hire him tomorrow. That's the perk of working for one of the best organizations. So, I know all these fine unions here, but when Uncle Mike signs your check, you have a little more authority. So I'll interview him tomorrow, and my partner will interview him tomorrow, and then we'll report back what happens and what's going on, and then we can use it. You can use it as a stepping stone to figure out which trades you want to get into, because it is a hands-on job. It'll be working with the Board Up Brigade program, and they do the boarding of houses, and now they're doing this all this other stuff they do with their hands. They're out in the community working. So as long as you can pass the interview and the pre-employment activities, which will cause for some other things, then you'll be good to go. You're welcome.
So I want to, first of all, thank this young man for coming up to the mic, because let me say this. I'm going to tell you guys a true story of something that actually happened probably about 7 years ago. And I don't know if you remember, Rick, but a young man came into the skilled trades, and we used to have all our skilled trades task force meetings downtown at the Coleman A. Young Municipal Center. We decided to move the meetings around because we wanted people to have free parking and not have to pay for parking or worry about getting a ticket. The young man walked into the meeting, and he stayed, but he got up probably about an hour and a half after the meeting started, and he said, I had to make a choice. I'm here. And I walked here in the rain. But as I was walking, and I'm a returning citizen, as I was walking, I had the choice to snatch somebody's purse and go back to jail or come here. And I chose to continue to walk to get here, to get to this meeting, because I didn't want to go back to jail. I didn't snatch a purse, and I came to this meeting. The young man ended up getting, and I want to say with the carpenters, because he stayed at that meeting. He wasn't ashamed to come to the mic. He wasn't ashamed to say what he could have done and what he started to do. Because guess what? We are all here to help each other. None of these people getting paid to be up here. They're here after work because they want to try to assist everybody. He came up to the mic and didn't know what to expect when he came up to the mic, but right after he came up to the mic, somebody came up to the mic behind him and said, if you really want to work, we'll interview you tomorrow. How often do you get a chance like that in life? Not too often. Not too often. But he wasn't afraid to step up to the mic and say what he had to say. He didn't care. You know, and that's what I'm saying. People think their question is a dumb question. People think what they have to say may be stupid. Ain't no question a dumb question. Other than, again, the question, you walk out of this door and don't ask. That's dumb. That's dumb. I'm just going to say it. It's D-U-M-B, dumb. Because you have the people up here who can answer the question for you, and if they can't answer it, they're going to tell you, let me see what I can do to try to get an answer for you. Can I tell you you're going to be as fortunate as that young man just was? No, I can't tell you that. But you have, and Linda Stockton Percy, who comes to every meeting. And Percy stands up at that mic and do something that I'm telling you this council president wouldn't do. And that's give you his personal cell phone number. Percy has a job. He's a skilled tradesperson. But he comes to every meeting and say, if you need help, here's my phone number. Just text me and say help. Because he know probably everybody that's going to come and sit up here at this table. Because he's been coming to these meetings just to try to help someone. So if you're sitting there and you know you need help, because that's probably why you came out in the snow. Let's be for real. If you don't need help, you ain't coming out here in no snow. And I call it the way I see it. So if you got a question and you don't come to that mic and ask that question, shame on you. Shame on you. Because these people are here to try to help you. And I can't tell you who's going to show up at what meeting. Sometimes you have the laborers here. Sometimes you have the carpenters here. I don't know who's going to show up at what meeting, but I tell you at every meeting, you might make a phone call to someone, one of these people up here, to get into their trades, and they don't call you back. Well, I tell the men, play it like it's a woman you chasing after that don't call you back when you call her. I bet you call her back until you get her on that line. That's what you need to do if you're that interested in the skilled trades. And women do the same thing. They know if it's a man they want to talk to, they're going to keep ringing that number. Let's keep it real, y'all. Let's keep it real. Because that's what I'm doing. I'm keeping it real because we're here to help everybody. I want to see everybody. People sitting up here want to retire at some point, but they want to know that those trades continue to carry on with the people who are dedicated and want to be in the trades. The young lady talked about discrimination. I can tell you stories that Adrienne Bennett told me as she was trying to become a master plumber. She had a hard time because the men said, I'm not going to carry your stuff for you. I'm not going to pick up this pipe. If you want to be a plumber, you better use your muscles and pick it up yourself. And that's what she did. Adrienne Bennett is a master plumber with her own business now. So you might become a roofer. You might become a plumber. You might become an electrician. You might become a bricklayer. But guess what? You have an opportunity to become an entrepreneur also, where you can own your own business. You have that opportunity. But it's up to you. And it's up to you to ask the questions that you need to ask to get the information that you need to ask. You have someone up here that says, if you're a returning citizen, in 5 years, you've had something on your record, and you want to get it expunged. There's a program that can get it expunged, thrown off of your records free. I like the word free. I like it. But how many places can you go and somebody tell you, we can help you for free? But if you don't ask no questions, they don't know what information to give to you. So if you have a question, you got like 20 minutes. because I've had a long day to ask it. If you don't have a question, and you walk out of here and say, I should have asked, then what you should do is write that question down, and then next month, on March the 25th, at the Adams Bustle Center, come to that meeting with that question and pop up at the mic and ask it. We don't hold nothing against nobody. We try to tell you the way it is. And I know I try to tell you the way it is. I love every last one of you here. I want to help every last one of you. But it's up to you to help yourself as well.
Okay, how y'all doing? I'm here because my man got up, and so I'm trying to follow his lead. So my name's Kenny Curry. No, I'm just joking. That's Kenny Curry. But I'm the type of guy that buys and redevelops those types of properties. And, you know, I'm doing some deals in the city of Detroit, but I have, you know, experienced, I'm here to verify what large general contractors are telling me. Okay, so when they give me a budget to say this is how much it costs to build this high rise or whatever, they say this is how much it costs. And so then I start breaking down, well, why? And at the end of the day, they're blaming it not on the materials, but on the labor. And they're blaming it on the fact that that it might take what should take 30 minutes to hang a drywall now takes an hour and a half because of the skilled labor stinks. And so by elongating the timelines, they're increasing my carrying costs to the point where I have to redesign the buildings so that, you know, I can pay for the labor. And so I came here today wanting to know if there really is a lack of quality labor and how we can mitigate that, or where I can go to call the general contractor's bluff in terms of finding quality laborers to do things in the time frames that I'm requiring.
Rick, can I get it? Go ahead first.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, let me explain something to you. And I think I could speak for a lot of labor up here. 9 times out of 10, most of your union labor contractors beat any deadline thrown at them. Now, I don't want to say any names of a particular project, but there's a big eyesore in the city right now that's been built for 4 years and is still not complete. Doesn't even have a roof on it yet. So when you talk about running over budget, our timelines for our labor is hands down the best.
Great.
And I can say this, and I can only speak for me as my local. Roofers 149 is the biggest traveling local in the country. Whenever any big three is getting anything built or re-roofed, 9 times out of 10, that's one of my 21 signatory contractors. We do more government work than anyone in the country. So when you say that our cost is too much, we beat every deadline. Little Caesars Arena went in under budget for us.
Okay.
So when you say we don't have the production and the skilled labor, sure there's going to be a shortage because of the people that retired through attrition, but we're replacing those ranks.
Got it. And is there a difference between, and I have to pay Davis-Bacon wages because a lot of my jobs are government jobs.
So you're paying our wages anyway,
Yeah.
but go ahead.
And so the question becomes, is there a difference between, help me to understand, and listen, don't shoot the messenger, you know what I'm saying? This is what general contractors are telling the owner, okay, in terms of a budget, okay? But is there a difference between, I've always heard that there's a difference between union laborers and non-union laborers.
There's a big difference.
And so the only difference that I'm aware of is that the non-unions are cheaper, okay? And so what I'm what I want to understand from you guys is what are those differences and how do I mitigate the risk of the deal when it comes to going with a GC that's going to go and get non-unions versus somebody that's going to get unions?
Well, here's the thing.
And I'm done.
I can speak for me and I can speak for a few other trades. When you use a particular contractor that's not certified to do what they're saying they can do, who do they come to fix that problem?
The union. Got it.
See, you can be an electrician all day, you can be a roofer. And I know for sure any roofing contractor under us is going to give you a 5-year labor warranty, and then that manufacturer that they use, that product that they use for that roof, is going to get a 30-year warranty. I don't know many non-union contractors that can stand behind their product and do that.
Got it.
So that's just my spiel, but when you say that they want to know the difference between union and non-union, that's just a pat in their pockets in my opinion.
So who do I go to find, to call the GC's bluff that there isn't enough skilled laborers for the jobs that we're trying to do?
We would love to have that discussion. You know, you don't see the opposite, and this is probably not the venue for it.
Yeah,
this is actually maybe the wrong venue for that conversation, but we appreciate that because we would definitely like to have that conversation with you guys and explain that there's a value. There's a cost, but then there's a value, right? That you don't have to fix it, and that you have people that are trained, right? You have people that went through the apprenticeship program that have the experience, and it's not always per hour how much it costs. It's how many hours did it take them to do it.
Yeah. I did want to add, all the unions have an accredited apprenticeship program that's registered with the Department of Labor. I don't know of any non-union company that has an apprentice. And also, something they're really big on is safety, which can be cost savings.
Hi, I'm a junior. I go to Osborne, and my name is Latrell Green. I was told to come in here and talk to somebody at the table, I don't know who, that works with high schoolers about a program. Because me, at school, they put me in all different programs, like the Brotherhood, the GDYT, and I'm just coming here to find something to do to keep me out of trouble, along with sport. So I'm trying to see who do I talk to about the minor programs.
What grade are you in?
11th.
You're in 11th grade? Has your counselor talked to you about going to Randolph?
I was in Votech, but it got kind of boring for me. So I stopped, and then on top of that, I was working and had practice, so I couldn't juggle everything around. But now I found a way to do everything, so I'm trying it again.
We were just at your fair yesterday. We had a skilled trades fair at Osborne on yesterday. Did you attend that skilled trades fair on yesterday? We were there all morning, up until about 1 o'clock. Yeah.
Probably not because I was in class.
Oh, you were in class. They didn't bring you. But we had 11th and 12th graders, all 11. But we can share the information with you. Along with, you can still go on Must Careers. You got to make a choice on what program you really want to be a part of when you graduate. But most of our programs, you have to be 18 years of age or older in order to be in skilled trades. Now, if you're looking for a pre-apprentice and summer programs, there are some out there. I know the carpenters have one. I don't know if you guys have a summer program, but there are some summer programs out there.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Okay.
Hi, how y'all doing? My name is Adonis. I started up a youth program. Will be 21 in a few months, so I'm a young founder, basically the youth program is Youth and Arts. I've been working through churches and local schools, old schools I used to go through and everything. It's kind of touched bases on what the young man before me and the very first young man that stated, because I am also a felon as well. So it's basically to let be known, the program is supposed to be let be known that even though that you can fall down to your lowest, it's still a possibility to do something. And that's basically what we're trying to build,
lately what we have been going through, because the church across the street has been helping out with the youth, helping me out with the youth and everything. We've been doing the dance, we've been doing the music, we've been doing the sports and stuff like that. We also been passing out LLCs, the partnering LLCs and the building LLCs. I can't, like I said, I'm 21 years old, legally 21. Your own LLC, you can withhold that at 21. So right now I'm partnering with the churches for the remainder of a couple months. But it's basically to let me know, like felons and stuff like that, because the people that are also helping me out are also former felons or current felons and stuff like that as well. So what we're actually looking for, and a question that I can ask is, how can I go about finishing pursuing that? And if so, can I find more sponsors and more help to do it, because I'm only young. I can't do it by myself, and it's the only help that I have is limited. Our goal right now is to try to open up some of these schools that's down, try to open them back up to something like this, more recreational purposes. Put green room studio because in there dancing, whatever the case may be, that the kids may want to basically engage them into something that they like to doing, as far as not basically not going to school or something like that, because I'm also a dropout as well. It's like things that stirred me. I'm trying to find ways to help bring the youth back and not stare them down the wrong way in a sense. So the program that we got going on, I got a few fellas that I got on that's helping me out. They're my brothers and everything. They do carpentry. We've been helping fixing up a couple houses and stuff like that as well. But I just wanted to really ask, the real question is if we can get more sponsors and more help with that.
Well, I do know about programs through DESC that where they bring out RFPs, which is, you know, they look for youth programs. They look for those programs where they can help them with finding jobs. So you can go through DESC and ask them and get on their list of openings for proposals in order to get those sponsorship and get that funding in order to put on your program. So I can share that information with you after the meeting.
Okay, that would be fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Saad Halim, and I'm here actually on one of the Councilmember Jones. You mentioned entrepreneurship, and what I'm representing Ms. Sharon Trevelyan and the BJJSR Aggregate Hauling Training Program. Now, what this program is actually is designed for people that want to get into the construction trades. You mentioned the Gordie Howe Bridge. Now, aggregate hauling. These are building materials that must be brought to all of these different construction sites that actually support everything that all of the trades up here do. And this program is also it's a paid program for business, for regular business community members. There's a fee, it's on a sliding scale, but for returning citizens and at-risk youth, this program is for free. So, I mean, this is for, you know, for anybody who may have gotten in trouble or something like that, or had some bumps on the road. They can come in. I'll have some paper that I'll leave with the company website on it, so that people can actually they can go to the website. They can send their application in, send the information in for the training program. And this program, I said, this program is not about just having a job. This is about creating wealth for generations and entrepreneurship as well. So, thank you.
All right, once again, my name is Percy Johnson. For anybody that needs help, that you missed out on anything that you just heard, please text me the word help to the number 313-719-9921. And I promise you, I'll get back with you and guide you and try to help you pursue what you're trying to achieve. There's one thing else that one reason why I do this, because it gives me an opportunity to work with individuals from 18 and up. The importance of you participating in the census. You must fill out the census applications, because all this stuff we're talking about right now, we need the revenue to come in our area so we can have the funding for the trades, for the training programs, for all the stuff that you're asking for to lift you up so you'll have a better community. you must fill out the census. March the 10th, we have an election coming up. If there's anybody here that's not registered to vote, please come see me. I will make sure I have applications for you to fill out to get you registered to vote. But I also will guide you where they have same-day voter registration right now at your city hall and your different areas where you can go to get registered and vote on the same day of these upcoming elections. So please, participate in your civic involvement so we can have the tax dollars and the things that we need to make our communities and make your families have an opportunity to be better. Thank you.
Repeat that number, please.
313-719-9921. Please just test the word help. I have a day job as a pipe fitter, so I will get back with you within that day and try to see what your situation is. Okay? Thank you.
Hello and good evening. I have a question for the lady right here about the expungements. My question is, I heard you say earlier that there was going to be something in the House, or something in the House currently about expunging more than one felony count on the same occurrence. Is there anything about the age at which the conviction occurred?
Yes, so right now they're looking at decreasing the waiting period for some convictions down from 5 years to 3 years. Those are mostly smaller, nonviolent convictions. They are unfortunately going to be increasing the time limit to 7 years for some of the more violent convictions, like if you've already had one felony expunged previously. So that waiting period is going to change a lot, but I'd encourage you just to apply right now. That way we can see what your situation is, and then as soon as the law passes, kind of immediately assess you and see how you fit into the new law.
Now, that's the age of the crime or the conviction. What about the age of the individual person?
So age of the person, so if it was sealed underneath HIDA, which is the Homes Youth and Training Act, those types of convictions, those ones have already been sealed, so we can't, expunge those again. But as far as the actual age of the person, if they have conviction and they meet the time limit that the statute says for that type of conviction, the age of the individual doesn't matter.
Any more questions? Okay, I'm not going to do a long station identification, but I just want to touch on the census that Percy started talking about. It is so important that you are counted in the census. The census is a count that shows how much money we will get from the federal government for a lot of programs like skilled trades, for education. The census helps with so many different things that many people just say, I don't want to fill out that 10-question questionnaire because they might be trying to track me because I owe child care, because whatever. They're not looking at any of that. They're just trying to count the numbers of how many people are in this city of Detroit, the location that you're in. The census looks at a lot of different things, political things. The census could, if you look at how many Congress people you have, we could lose a Congress seat because of the census and how many people we actually have in the state and in the city. So it is so important that you fill out that census paper. Also, the census is hiring. You have an opportunity to be able to get a job with the census if you're looking for employment, just something just to hold you on, like someone says. You have an opportunity to get employed with the census. So it is so important that you fill out the census form when you get that information. It's just a count. They're also counting homeless people. They're counting everyone to see how many people we have in this community. So, are there any other questions? Any other comments? The last thing, when you came in, you should have filled out the sheet. Please put your email address on that sheet. Any information that we get that's coming up, any job fairs, any information we get. Linda Wesley, that just walked out the door, is the email queen. She will flood you with emails on giving you all pertinent information, all information that could help you on some of the things that you might be interested in. I want to thank our media service people who've been working all day for being here with us today as well. I want to thank everyone that's up here for coming and sharing information. I want to thank you all for coming through the snow, and we all came through the snow. Thank you for being here. Thank you for participating in this Skilled Trades Task Force meeting, and thank my staff, and thank the officer for being here. And I just want to say again, it is so important that you ask questions that you have. It is so important also that you spread the information. A lot of times we get information and we keep information to ourselves. It's a lot out there that's available to people. If you know someone else that's interested or that's looking for an opportunity, that's looking for a career, we can talk about jobs versus careers. Skilled trades is definitely a career. So if you're looking, you know someone that's looking for jobs, sometimes we have job opportunities. That's why we talk about Detroit Works, because you have an opportunity to go there, fill out that application. There are sometimes opportunities that exist inside of the city of Detroit. For instance, they were just looking for poll workers, and so they went to Detroit Works to see if there were anyone that was interested in working the polls and getting paid that temporary, for those temporary jobs. And so there are a lot of things that exist. But again, we're here to try to assist, but if we don't know where you need assistance in, we cannot assist you. So thank you for being here. If you have any questions for any of these people, I'm sure they will be here to answer. There are flyers outside of the door that you can pick up as you walk out. And other than that, I look forward to seeing you at our next Skilled Trades Task Force meeting on Wednesday, March the 25th at the Adams Bustle Recreation Complex Center at 10500 Linden Street, Detroit, Michigan. DWSD will have a hiring presentation. So if you're interested in the Detroit Water and Sewage Department, they will also be there with a hiring presentation. Thank you for being here tonight. Be careful driving home. If it's not you, watch out for the next person, because I don't care how long you've been in the city of Detroit. Every time it snows, people act like they ain't never drove in snow before. And so watch out for that next person, even if you are driving safely. Thank you for being here. Have a safe, good, warm night, and this meeting stands adjourned.